Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Midoriya Izuku. Midoriya has no idea why things have been a little bit messy in his head, but apparently the mess was not just limited to his head. Perhaps not eating well and not sleeping well for a good amount of time will do this to a person because he was extremely clumsy. Clumsy enough that he fell on top of you and into your lap while you were watching something and sitting down on the couch. Immediately he would blush, looking at you. "Oh, Wayan, I'm really sorry," he would say in a hurry, as he moved to get up, and I was still off your lap, but you held him back, wrapping your arms around him and bringing him close to you. "Hey, Yuzu, it's fine. It's not like I mind, you know," you whisper gently. And suddenly it's like his head goes blank as he looks at you, tilting his head. You you don't mind if we sit like this?" he asks. You don't know because if he wants it, or because he thinks it's ridiculous. But it was most likely the latter. "Midoriya, please, just stay like this for a little while. I'm asking you." And after a little bit of just contemplating it, he nods, and he blushes even brighter if that was possible, as he wraps his arms around your waist and buries his face into the crook of your neck. "Thank you, Ayan, for being here with me, and for loving me like this, Ayan. I need it sometimes. I know I'm not always the best, and maybe you deserve someone so much more and so much better, but I'm happy you can love me," he says, nervous and shy, but hearing him like that, you want nothing more in the world than to just grab him and kiss him. And right now, since he was in your arms and you had every opportunity to do so, you just did. Because after all, it was all you needed. And it was all Midori needed as well, to know that your love for him was true, and that you were not just kidding around. He did love it when you smiled him, especially when no one was around because you got real shy when that happened. So, all in all, it was quite a perfect opportunity. Todoroki Shoto. Todoroki was very sleepy. You have never seen him so sleepy like that, and you had no idea that he would get so silly whenever he got sleepy like that. To the point where he was just walking around in the room, ended up stumbling carelessly, and then falling down onto your lap. The two of you were just staring blankly at one another for a couple of moments, Todoroki's eyes wide, and yours as well, as you stared right back at him. "Wow, Shoto, that was one hell of a landing," he says softly, unable to be really upset with him, as you wrap your arms around him, bringing him into your arms and cuddling him close. You do miss him sometimes, considering he's been actually working a lot lately. And with how horrible he seemed to be doing physically, you just wanted him to have that rest. And he knew if you got up, you could probably fall and stumble again. And it wasn't like you wanted to carry him right now. Well, it was more like you couldn't. He was a bit heavy for you. You were not the strongest one around when it came to carrying people. So you just settled to the two of you, cuddling where you had fallen onto your lap, and you continuing scrolling through your phone or watching the TV. Meanwhile, Todoroki was mumbling into your shoulder, some nonsense you would never be able to make out. But you still fondly heard every word he said, listening to him, and stroking his hair gently, humming softly to help him sleep. Right now, he needed you as his girlfriend to make sure that he can rest, and considering that you loved him more than anything in the world, it wouldn't be too much to ask for that. so you will give it to him. After all, a good rest like that is all Todoroki needs, and the least of what he deserves. Bakugou Katsuki. Now, Katsuki actually stumbled and it was a complete accident. And most of the time, you would think he would get mad at you and start blaming the air or you or something, or maybe the table that was near you that made him stumble in the first place. But he was actually just startled, frozen in place for a moment, blushing, before he wrapped his arms around you, letting out a soft huff. I need to rest. Oh, well, that's a strange way to rest. Did you mean to fall like that? You tease lightly. But then he just grumbles under his breath and you decide to let it go. After all, if he was so willing to rest like this, then he must have needed it, and you were not going to take that away from him. You just held him in your arms, deciding to keep real quiet until he talked again. And he did eventually. And he stroked his back. You know, you may be weird, Katsuki, and difficult to understand too. But every moment I spent with you, it was worthwhile. I love you. I hope you can see that. And also see it because I'm having you sit on my lap right now. You say, and he chuckles at that, wrapping his arms around you tighter. I know. Well, you could switch around if you want. I wouldn't mind. But then you shake your head, giving him a loving smile. I just love caring for you. I'm only teasing. Don't take things too seriously. And he nods to that. It was one of those few days where you could see him being laid back, not being too serious or too annoyed with you, letting himself be vulnerable, letting you love him as he deserves to be loved. And it was something so rare and so precious to you that you didn't want to ruin it. So away with further teasing. You would not be doing that. Instead, you held him, talked to him, and when there was nothing to talk about, you just stayed there in each other's arms in complete silence. That was still pleasant, because the two of you just loved the other's company.